Matěj, I'd like to congratulate you on the launch of EXION. This is the latest platform, and for me, this is very exciting because we've never been able to do microneedling with radiofrequency without topical needles. I'd love for you to share a little bit of that with us.
Sure, my pleasure. Exactly as you said, Dr. Sherina, it's our newest innovation. It's called EXION. EXION is a multi-platform system. This system consists of 4 different individual applicators. So we are basically covering the whole body from head to toe. It's a very versatile machine. It covers over 23 body areas, including the intimate wellness for the ladies. And to answer your question, finally, you asked about the microneedling radiofrequency. And there is some major innovation by BTL, as always with the BTL. With all humbleness, I'm happy to share. So the fact is that this machine, or fractional radiofrequency, has been in the making for EXION for a long 7 years. This is actually the longest it took for the BTL to really finish or do the device. And the reason why it took us so long is because we had conducted some real clinical research on something that's very revolutionary, and this is artificial intelligence model. And this AI model was trained for these long 7 years, during which we had conducted thousands and thousands of treatments. And so we learned, we taught this AI model how to deliver the energy without not causing any unnecessary amount of pain. As a result of all of this, 82% of all our patients globally are undergoing this treatment without any numbing cream, without any EMLA whatsoever. And to get a little bit more technical, if I may, at this point, how it actually works, and you can see it live right now as Becky is performing the therapy. So once the applicator is placed on the patient's skin, on the patient's face, the needles comes out. And these 36 individual needles, they measure the patient's impedance. And because this AI model was trained behind it, we are not shooting, unlike any other else, we are not shooting the energy blindly. We are actually shooting the right amount of energy based on this impedance measurement as well as on this AI model. Thanks to this, we are able to deliver the maximum results in terms of efficiency, but not causing any unnecessary amount of pain. As a result, sorry, Francesca, just finish up on it. Thanks to all combination of all of this, we are actually the only ones that can effectively treat the face with only single pass, which means that there is only one pass being made on your face while effectively treating the patient, and thus not pushing the needles again, like some others do, or all of them do, on the same place, thus irritating skin again and again and creating the pain or causing the pain to skyrocket.
I think for anyone who's had radiofrequency microneedling, that is quite an innovation, not to be able to need the numbing cream to go alongside it. It's definitely something I've always had a very thick layer of numbing cream on and left it on for a long, long time before I've let somebody do a treatment like this to me. But I think we've seen with all patients who have jumped on this table, and this lovely patient now is positively smiling, and I think that's quite a rarity to see with needles being sort of shot into the skin. Can you tell us a little bit about the upregulation in hyaluronic acid as well that it's causing? Because this is something that we have repetitively spoken about over the course of the event, you know, the sort of the importance of us having really good sources and stores of HA in the skin.
Great question, Francesca. Thank you for it. There is actually another applicator. It's called facial applicator. I'll just show it to everybody. It's very handy, very easy to use. And maybe to set the stage a little bit more, if you allow, look, like some 5-10 years ago, it was mostly about collagen and elastin. Like these terms have been coined over and over again. And now it's a lot about HA, about hyaluronic acid. And we know now it's important, it's huge, because we know it not only attracts 1,000 times of its volume, but it also is part of something called extracellular matrix. And this extracellular matrix actually what is a fibrous network that holds collagen and elastin fibers in place. The main issue with HA is that unlike collagen, with collagen you're losing like 1% after you reach the age of 20. Every year you lose 1%. With HA, it's even more, unfortunately, pessimistic, because since the day you're born, you're losing it. And there are basically only 2 ways how to do it externally. It's either fillers, so needles, or topicals, which are not really efficient, to be honest. So here comes EXION, and we are the first and only ones ever to provoke, I would say, the body, to create the conditions in a body that actually make it to produce not only collagen and elastin, which is like the golden standard in aesthetics, but the body actually responds by creating more hyaluronic acid as well. And when I say more, I want to say 224%.
That's quite impressive.
And I know it's quite a claim to make, right? And I wouldn't be here standing with a straight face if I hadn't have it backed up by some real clinical data, clinical evidence. There are 3 individual clinical studies using 6 different evaluation methods that actually support this case. 224% more HA.
And I think it's a trend that we're really, really invested in right now, sort of understanding how to utilize our own bodies and our own resources to really generate that sort of healing, regenerative process as well.
Yes, absolutely. This is like the main idea mechanism of action with our non-invasive devices, to create the conditions in a body in a way that it responds by some healing mechanism to this like micro stress, I would call it.
Well, it's going back to the roots of rehabilitation, you know, training the body to work for itself and make itself more bulletproof rather than having to rely on external factors.
Absolutely. Now, again, I have nothing to add also.
Sorry.
So
Can we talk about some of the other applicators? So we've looked at the radio frequency microneedling. There's the body applicator as well on the EXION.
Yes, absolutely correct. This is the third one to the EXION family. And it has quite somewhat similar function in terms of skin laxity as the facial applicator, more collagen, more elastin, more HA. But what it has like as an add-on compared to the facial one, it's the fat reduction. You can cause something called fat apoptosis, which is the physiological disruption of the fat cells. Of course, you don't have it on the facial applicator. Again, you don't want to lose fat on your cheeks. That will be a not very smart idea.
And a lot of fat loss devices have had a really sort of bad rep of late. And I think it's, again, a really nice and sort of positive way to envision reshaping and recontouring the body.
Absolutely correct. And maybe if I may, because as you know, I tend to be a little bit scientific.
Yep,
so I would like to
go right in with the science.
Maybe I would like to walk you through just briefly how we are actually making more HA in the body and in the face. And it's combination again of 2 technologies, because we believe that 1 + 1 in this case doesn't equal 2, but maybe 4 or more. And how it works is that monopole radio frequency, which is again like the golden standard for more collagen, elastin. This is not the groundbreaking part. But what's super interesting and groundbreaking technology is something, it's called targeted ultrasound. And this targeted ultrasound, it actually targets the energy to this magical land, magical layer in our bodies and faces, and it's called reticular dermis. And in this layer, reticular dermis, the most active fibroblasts, which are these specialized skin cells that are responsible for collagen, elastin, and HA, in this reticular dermis, these most active, these fibroblasts on steroids, they live here, they reside here, and they are being stimulated by targeted ultrasound, specifically in their depth, by mechanical stress. And it's a combination of heating plus the mechanical stress that makes these fibroblasts respond by collagen, elastin, but finally, as the first and only ones, by hyaluronic acid as well.
Your R&D department is completely on fire, isn't it? It's just sort of constantly coming up with these innovations.
Yes.
What's in the future for BTL?
Well, that's a great question.
Is there a muscle that you haven't yet addressed, or a layer of the anatomy that has been untouched?
Not that I know of, Francesca, but in my opinion, where it's all headed is, I think the future is more of a holistic approach. I think everything will be more based on the non-invasive approaches, and I believe also more and more individualized approach will be like used. And I believe also that the AI will be one of the driving factors for the individualization of the treatments and the procedures. This is where I see the future of the aesthetics in general.
And increasing personalization, which is a thing that I think you guys do really well at S-Thetics, you know, really targeting the exact patient, the exact skin type, the exact body type with whatever device you have to hand.
Absolutely, and I think we just need to look at consumer demand, and we're looking at ourselves being the consumer. All of us are looking for fast results, effective, safe, efficient, little or no downtime. We don't want to
spend much, do we?
We've got high expectations of ourselves, and because our patients expect that of us now more than ever, we can get things delivered we can run our lives through our mobile phones effectively. We can bank, we can book things, we can get fed and watered and loved even. So we're driven in such a fast-paced life that you have these type of tailored treatments now that you can literally use from head to toe. And they can treat scars, they can improve skin health. And if you look at this patient now, we'd love to see Francesca, if you can ask her how she's feeling. She's having all these needles gently introduced into her skin to revitalize her.
It feels fine, actually. It's just sometimes like a bit of an elastic band, but no big deal.
I mean, you're looking sort of lovely and rosy. But
Rosy.
Things are really bright.
I just feel warm but comfortable. Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you had any other radio frequency microneedling?
No, never.
Wow.
This is a really nice introduction then.
So this is what
It only gets worse.
going from zero to hero. So historically for us, and Matěj is laughing because I would never have a radiofrequency microneedling patient in the history of me doing this for the last 8 years say that was lovely, and you just have a nice rosy glow. Patients would be clutching our little squeezy balls. We would have had topical anesthesia on their skin for at least 45 minutes, and we would expect and tell them, you're not going to like me for an hour. And that's just a given. Whereas now she's come in and she's had this treatment and she's going to walk out the door and she'll be absolutely fine.
And still smiling.
And she's smiling. Matěj, thank you so much for introducing this amazing 4-in-1 platform on behalf of all your team from Prague. We're so grateful to have you here in England.
Thank you. I'm beyond delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone.